All right, what up YouTube? Filming this one live. The Community Crafted is an arcade LTM mode available from June 30th to July 13th. If you haven't seen this or haven't booted up the game, this is where 4 content creators, Guxue from China, Apply OC, which are NA people who made the DPS, Guxue did the tanks, and then ML7 from EU did the supports. They went in and asked for some changes to some base kits to experiment with heroes. Some are very wacky and some are honestly kind of good and could be implemented into the base game. And this is all in arcade mode that you can play for some challenges and whatnot. So what I decided to do on today's video is kind of go through their changes as quick as we can. There's 51 heroes in the game right now, so it's gonna take a long time. I'll ignore some. I'm gonna go through the ones that I think could genuinely be implemented into the normal game outside of this mode. Like some of these ideas are really good, but some of them are just a little bit ridiculous and outrageous. So we'll kind of touch on the ones that are important over here. So one thing I want to clarify is that like this mode itself, like after doing this video, I'm pretty much done playing this because it's a little bit all over the place. I think the creators said they had a few months to develop it, but like there's nobody able to play test it, right? They were able to pitch the ideas a while back, so I've heard, but no time to really play test. So some of the changes I think were not actually what the creators wanted, a little bit lost in translation and whatnot. But overall, I really think if they want to do this again, they really got to narrow down on like the format. Because if we want to go full wacky, like another April Fool's mode, that's fine, but you have to like pitch it that way. So some of these are like really good, but some of them are just ridiculous to the point that it's no longer fun because you can't try the interesting ones because there's just a little god running around the lobby because it's just like overtuned and a little bit too ridiculous, aka Doomfist. If you've been playing this mode, you know what I'm talking about, and we'll get to them in just a moment. All these creators who are balancing this mode and making this patch, please work hard to make the most realistic quality of life improvement to every hero possible, and I think we have something here. But other than that, let's just take the ideas of what they have so far and work and move forward with that. So first of all, D.Va. There are some dev comments, aka Guxue's comments. He's a pro player for China in the Overwatch League if you follow a lot of Overwatch. He's a really good tank player, but some of these good, some of these not so good. So the first one was bunny power into miner kit. I think that's fine. Team leader being the new miner kit, I think that's fine too. Honestly, defense matrix converting damage into additional self-destruct is not even like a bad idea. It actually doesn't change her as much as you think. I just played her in a game. Realistically, if you're close to a D.Va bomb, you will die anyways. This only changes it if you're ever in like the secondary or the tertiary range of the bomb, which could have some implications. If you ever like sat near the edge of a D.Va bomb and got booped backwards and survived, it's like, oh, that's nice. If not, like those are pretty rare moments anyways. Most people get behind cover, so like honestly adding it to it I wouldn't even hate it, to be honest with you. It doesn't do that much, maybe the edge cases, but like at that point, what's the point of even adding it? You know what I mean? And I also found out it only works after you absorb it after you've been sitting on your ultimate. Light gun adding a secondary grenade, secondary fire to launch a small grenade while you're in baby form, I think that's fine too. You don't need to add this thing. And then self-destruct improving its generation by 20%, that's a crazy buff. The fact that you have you sitting on your D.Va mech like crazy, that's too strong. We can't do that because having a second life like non-stop in competitive mode with 20% increased uptime, no thank you. Domina, I really like this Sonic Repulsors idea to be able to boop herself to give her some slight mobility to get on high ground. I say yes to this. We don't need to improve the knockback on the enemy, so no to that. Panopticon enveloping allies, so it's like a utility-friendly ultimate addition to Domina. I like this. This improves skill expression to me because you kind of have to make a decision whether you want to align properly with your teammate because you're usually in the front line. Like if your teammate's low in the back, if I whip around in 180 and like give them a barrier, like I lose my ultimate. Or if someone just happens to be in front of me, one teammate, instead of lining up with juicy 3-man enemy Panopticon, I can hit one teammate and maybe one enemy. And maybe that has higher value in that specific moment. Like I think this is actually, these are good minus the knockback force. Okay, Doomfist. This guy's a literal god here. Like if we were gonna add uppercut back into it, he has way too much CC in this mode and it just made it unfun. It's fun for the one Doom player, but just unfun to everybody else because you can uppercut CC you into the air. You can empower the uppercut, which stuns people. Your Seismic Slam now has slow on it. You can still power block with like power matrix and absorb shit. You can punch people, stun them again. And then when you meteor strike, you knock down enemies like a hard stun. I literally lost my D.Va bomb like flying out because I got knocked down. This guy got too much CC in the mode. So like this should not be in the game anymore. Tank Doom should not have 5 CC buttons. There's no other tank that has that much CC. Like it's kind of ridiculous. I say 5, but like, is it really 5? Kinda with the empowered part, but like, it's just too much. Like this is what I mean with the mode not being fun and not being really tuned properly. Like if you're going to commit to making the hero better, I think there is a world where we could add uppercut back onto the melee binding, but you have to like empowered uppercut I don't think should stun. You're already in the air and CC'd. You should not get slow back on seismic. You should not get stunned on this. And you have to tune like the cooldown numbers and maybe like the stun duration of the rocket punch or something, the empowered one, if you're going to give him uppercut. Like there could be a world. Some people are saying no thank you to this. I think I talked about this a little bit earlier on stream. If you want to please some Doom players and add it back, that's fine, but you really got to make some adjustments elsewhere. And the reason why I say that as a support player is I actually found uppercut back in Overwatch 1 the easiest part, the easiest time to CC him. I think maybe to compensate, you get rid of this power matrix perk. When he uppercuts, it was like the best time to sleep dart or like roadhog hook or something. Like it's genuinely one of the easier abilities to play around. And then there's like, you know, kind of like a game of chicken or a little standoff on like who baits what cooldown. Maybe the Doom can uppercut really quickly, chain into another ability to dodge another ability, or like uppercut bait and stuff like that. There's merit to it, but you have to tune stuff. So, but in any case, this version of him in this mode is too strong right now. Hazard, I actually really like this. So this is like the Venom idea in Marvel Rivals, where if you vault to the highest point, you can just latch onto the wall and just chill there and then wait to go for your dive. I actually really like this for Hazard. I don't like how it's only done on max height. I kind of wish you could just like latch onto walls and just like press something to hold. So maybe that, and then you can I think that was like the best part of all this. I found that when you're playing on attack, it's really hard to actually use it offensively, because like if you want to keep taking space, you could just keep being aggressive. You have to wait for them to come to you. So it gives him another element to his play. That being said, you probably have to nerf something else to add this to the game, because now his kit might be a little bloated, but I thought this was really fun. Downpour, this was an interesting change where they got rid of the CC from it and made it a DPS ult. I think we could just bring it back to the CC. I think Hazard's fine having a little root on it. The fact that this is 270 just one-shotting enemies is probably no fun on the receiving end. Giving it a root and giving you the option to get Suzu'd out or maybe like survive it is probably better. Junker Queen. I actually like this Carnage thing. So there's the fact that it's always thrown instead of swung. So if you're swinging up close into enemies, like you're going to hit them anyways, but you have some range on it now. And if you can pick it up, you can lower the cooldown. This is just a straight buff to her. It just feels a little clunky at first, but like, I think it is just a straight buff, right? Now, that being said, if they're in a clump and it gets thrown, I don't know if it can pierce. I think maybe if it pierces and maybe we nerf the damage a little bit to kind of like quote unquote balance it, we can cook with this, but I like this a lot. So yes to this. Mauga, I think I'm fine. Oh, it doesn't cleave anymore, and that's the drawback. Wait, if it no longer cleaves, I don't want it. I take it back then. If you're only single target with Carnage, I take it back. Don't add it in. But if you give it cleave again, we're good. Okay, Mauga, overrun, stomp, scaling with height. Like this is so rare for it to happen anyways. That's fine if you want to buff his overrun. But like this whole cardiac overdrive thing, having it 3 seconds back to 5 seconds. When this was 5 seconds, Mauga was OP back in the day. Let's not do this. So no to all this. Like you do all this just for him to press the button again and heal like 500 HP? No. Orisa, energy javelin now impacting allies. I did play Orisa. I literally forgot you could do that. Healing them and increasing their move speed is kind of crazy. 100 healing, but you lose the cooldown on javelin. Not everybody needs to be able to aim at your teammates with this stuff. I say no to this. Fortify also felt very like clunky. I felt like I was playing Mauga with the way it was controlling. I didn't like how this one felt. Instead of like the play style of popping Fortify and continuing to shoot the enemy. I didn't like this. This reminded me too much of Mauga, and like it kind of leaked into the other identity. So I say no, no. Javelin's been having some mobility. There's a lot of positives being able to have vertical mobility, but you do lose the cooldown, and it's kind of hard to see because you have to look up, so you lose your peripheral vision on it. Honestly, I would say no. I don't think people want Orisa to be any stronger than she actually is in the base game. Okay, let's move on. Void Barrier, Ramattra, lasting indefinitely. This is just a stronger Sig Shield. And then like when you retract it, it just like heals, regenerates really fast too, because on a 2.5. This is no. We don't need to leak this hero identity into Sigma. So no to this. Ravenous Vortex hindering people. This is an AoE hinder. Like it's already annoying enough to play into one flashbang. Bro, this is too strong. No. No. Annihilation, doing less damage but lifestealing him. This is a possibility. I like this one. This one's not bad. Less DPS for more lifesteal. It could also be changed into a perk, so people can opt into this or opt out if you want to just be greedy with more damage, or like play for block and like lifesteal slowly. It only lifesteals the suck. I don't know if it lifesteals the punch part. It only lifesteals the damage per second, right? I think as a perk, I agree. Rhine, Berserker passive. As Rhine loses health, his movement and attack speed increases. Like a very aggressive kind of thing. For every 100 HP lost. This could be a major perk, but not to the extreme. There has to be a cap to this. It could also be scaled to not only his HP loss, but his shield. If his shield starts getting a little low, then maybe he can get like a little bit more movement speed and attack speed to like make him go, but it can't be to that level, but it could be a perk idea. Maximum bonus reach when 200 HP remains. So the fact that Ryan has 600, it already scales like 4 or 5 stacks or something. I do think this could make Ryan really fun. Ryan is the most fun in this mode when he's low health. I didn't end up trying him, so I don't have as much input on this, but there could be a world to make him like way more brawly in that capacity, but it kind of like nulls his weakness. Ryan's biggest weakness is like he's strong when he's up close, and giving him more strength to get in there and do stuff is kind of risky territory. That being said, at the cost of his HP, he's going in at low HP doing this. So maybe when I said tied to the HP, I take it back. Or sorry, tied to the shield health, I take it back. Tying it to the HP is probably the correct play to weigh the risk and reward of being able to move faster at the expense of not being able to do that. Maybe in a world this could work is you don't get it when your shield is up. So like if you're sitting at less HP, you get the move speed and the attack speed only. Well, obviously attack speed only works when your shield is down, but I don't want you to be low HP, like 100 HP, put up your shield and actually start running really fucking fast like this. But yeah, that could be fine. This charge being 20 seconds is a bit of a meme. No to this. Barrier field can still stay 1500 and we'll move on from there. Okay, Roadhog, chain hooking, hitting teammates. I mean, I play Deadlock. Bebop can hook teammates and enemies. It can be really annoying as a hog if you want to go for a hook and a teammate walks in front of you. Maybe if there was a toggle button like alternate cast hook to specifically only hook teammates, could be kind of cool, to be honest with you. I don't hate that idea of being able to hook your teammates. And this is not to troll them. This is for you to move to them. It's not you pulling your teammate in out of a bad spot like Lifeweaver. So this could be used to like run if specifically into the other thing. I actually like that idea, but it needs to be like an alternate cast, a different fire button, or like hold control or hold alt or another button before pressing chain hook. And maybe it could have an independent cooldown. No, it could be the same cooldown, but I like that. Okay, Reinhardt, take a breather generating poison gas. I mean, this kind of felt like a whatever thing. I don't think giving hog movement is a good idea, but the thing is, it still goes on cooldown. Think about it this way. When you play against a Roadhog and he sits on his hook, you have to wait for the hook to come out, and then there's like a window opportunity to go for it. If he opts to use it to maneuver, then you know the hook is down. Then there's no like threat. It's up to him for skill expression to see whether it was worth it to like reposition in that moment or to go for an aggressive attempt at a hook. So I don't know. I personally don't hate it, believe it or not. And like, let's say he's, you know, trying to get into our line. Like, what is he going to hook an aggressive Genji or a Tracer in our backline and come to the back? Then he doesn't have the offensive hook. He's stuck shooting his fucking shotgun. I think this is fine. Anyways, take a breather generating poison gas. This could be a perk. Okay, Sigma, kinetic grasp granting free flight. I think that makes him too strong. It's basically levitation right early off the get-go, and levitation's so strong on Sig. Be able to be in any position and like anchor himself there with his shield. I don't think he needs that. I think Sig is in such an interesting spot where he's already so good and strong that like I don't think we need to change him much anymore. I don't like the way the flux was changed here, so I think we should keep old flux is fine. So old flux, so no to this, no to this. Accretion knockdown duration. This is more CC in the game. This is actually how it used to be, and they nerfed it. I don't really think we need to change accretion in the way it is. This is just power creeping him for no reason, instead of making his kit better. He's already really good, so I would say no to all. Winston, now this one's interesting. I think anybody here who's played Winston has been enjoying the shit out of this double jump pack. I did try him for one game, and I will say that was fun, but this is insane mobility creep. He's so strong with this. I think you guys can all agree that this is really fun. Maybe you're gonna have to like nerf the overall cooldown of it, but maybe there is a world where we can add this into Winston's kit. That being said, I don't like the barrier projector being thrown. I kind of like you're kind of just stuck. There's a lot of skill expression just being able to put down the shield or the bubble in the correct way, because it has to be underneath him. The fact that it has to be thrown forward and reactivated again, I don't like that. Yeah, jump pack 1, we could see a world with this. Could be a major perk as well, specifically for much later, but at the cost of like 1 extra second on the overall cooldown maybe. But the idea is kind of cool in practice right now. Wrecking Ball, I think he already has too much mobility. Like this one has cool skill expression. I think like what's the difference if I say yes to this and then no to something like Wrecking Ball being able to attach to the ground? Was it really that bad to attach to the ground? I did not play ball or play into one during this, so I have no opinion of this. Mines being manually detonated is no. This minefield's already annoying as hell already. And the fact that if I'm like specifically in between the mines and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not popping one because I happen to be standing in between them. And then he just has the ability to just detonate all of them anyways, like hell no. So no to the minefield, maybe the grappling claw. Zarya, projected barriers give the teammates being able to jump higher. I already think Bubble is very loaded. I already feel like the Bubble is such a loaded ability. People hate playing into Suzu already, but like a Zarya Bubble is basically Suzu. It cleanses you, it can give her energy, and now it gives your teammate so much more like mobility as well. And the fact that there's already a minor perk attached to it where it gives you like move speed and stuff. I don't know, this just seems a bit excessive at this part, but maybe this could be tied to a separate perk. So it's like you give your ally a jump higher, or like the other bubble where like a teammate gets the move speed and proc of the passive health regen or something. Okay, well there's that. And then Graviton Surge, even larger range. Nah, I think Grav is in a good spot. It's already powerful enough. No need for that. Anran, she is just like raw buffed. Like she was really fun to play, but she was way too strong. I think the idea to be able to, or sorry, let's just start from the top. Fire rate being increased along with projectile speed. I think this is too strong. She's good at poke, but the fire rate being that much faster felt too OP. So maybe we cut that. But the faster projectile speed gives her a bit better range to poke at more consistently. I kind of like that. Maybe not 150 meters per second. If this feels too strong, we could probably nerf it down to 120. But the idea of increasing the projectile speed was quite nice. So we can leave it at that. Inferno Rush being able to go backwards is also a great idea. I really like that as well. And maybe if we're worried about mobility creep, we cut this part. But the agency to go backwards is kind of cool skill expression, so I like that. Next, we have Ash's Dynamite now sticking to surfaces. The fuse timer being increased was kind of a bit trippy, how it just sits there and holds. It kind of can zone an area for a prolonged period of time. I don't think we need the fuse timer that much longer. I think sticking to surfaces is fine, but sometimes it's nice on Ash to throw it against the wall and have it drop to the ground sometimes. But anyways, I think sticking is fine. I don't want the fuse timer. I don't need the Bob exploding on me. He's already annoying enough to deal with. So let's get rid of that. Okay, we have Bastion here. So Lindholm explosives, so tuned tread. So now he's just way faster while in tank form or assault form. I think if you're gonna add this, you have to nerf his HP. Like Bastion was so annoying to go against here. He is so fast and so strong with this ability. And then configuration artillery, that's his ultimate, right? Being able to go back to the old ult. I like the old ult, to be honest with you, a lot. It's way stronger than the current one, than the 3 shots. Unless configuration artillery is, am I misremembering? There's recon. Is artillery just the turret form? I didn't play Bastion at all in this mode. I played against one, but I can't remember if he was just, that is his Overwatch 2 ultimate. Okay, well anyways, I do like his old ultimate, but it's way stronger. You might just have to like bring his damage down, because 205 damage is I think how it used to be, but everyone's HP pool has gone down I think now. A lot of 250 heroes went back to 225 maybe. In any case, there's some tuning here, but I like the old ult is all I'm gonna say. Cassidy, they're actually really cooking with this one. I actually like True Shot. This actually gives your Deadeye like real game applications, because the other minor perk with the double flashbang is always taken, because who the hell wants to heal on Deadeye when everybody runs? But the fact that Deadeye can now pierce barriers is very matchup specific to actually opt for you to opt into picking this one instead of the other one. I like this perk a lot. Let's keep that. Combat roll does not need to give invincibility. No to this. And honestly, Deadeye giving max ammo up to a cap, let's not add that. No thank you. Echo, I did not play Echo to give any input. I thought somebody here, Kisla says, I actually like the focusing beam change on a regenerating resource instead, which means if you go for an assassination, it should in theory always be up. That's really strong. And I think to compensate, they are nerfing the sticky bombs. I mean, sticky bombs having projectile speed increasing by 60%. I don't think we need to do that. Sticky bombs are already so consistent and really strong and hard to dodge anyways on the receiving end. It goes through all players spawn things with a Deadeye perk. Oh, it goes through like Maywall. Oh, interesting. I think it should only go through what they say, barriers, not player spawn things. But in any case, let's go back here. Sticky bombs, no to the speed. Stuck to them, revealed. Echo, isn't Echo already a recon? We don't need to do this. This gives her even more potential for like assassination, which is a little too excessive. She's already good at what she does. And then duplicate. This is interesting. It's kind of hard to track, but I don't hate this idea. Moving faster with tanks, more health when damaging a hero, more damage when duplicating support hero. It makes it complicated, and for what? This is one of those, like, it's cool on paper, but it's just like kind of annoying to track, and it like she's already at a good spot that like maybe it's a little excessive here. So maybe not for the duplicate. Emray. Cyberfrag Final Blows giving, if you want to buff him here, I think that's fine. Override Protocol also has lifesteal. We don't need this. I think he's already great with his ultimate. His ultimate is already one of the more powerful team wiping abilities, especially if you combo it with Nano. I don't think we need to add lifesteal to it. This could be the perk. I think there is the minor perk where like it adds a slow on it, but you can add lifesteal to it as a perk specific, kind of like Genji Blades giving lifesteal per slash or something. And maybe only lifesteal on the, not the big shot, or maybe the small shot, or it could be on big shot and just have less lifesteal. And then we have this perk that I forgot to touch on. Because nobody took the Cyber Adhesion Major perk, because everybody always took the gun that gave you lifesteal back. But if you give this one, optimized targeting, when scoped, hitting all 3 bursts makes the next unscoped burst damage by 35%, boosts the next one. This feels very Destiny-like, to be honest with you. I don't hate it as a major perk to give people, it's like you trade off the damage for the sustainability of the rapid fire healing one. I forgot what it was called. Freya, like these are no to everything, right? Like wasn't she just straight up nerfed in this? This is slightly reducing the instant damage she can be and reducing the burst overall. She's unplayable in this mode, by the way, which kind of sucks. But the idea of reducing the explosion from 80 to 40 and then the damage over time is just now a bleed is just a straight up nerf because it's less instant. There's more time to heal it. So I don't like this. So no to this. Bola shot, we don't need more slow on it. No. Marking a random person as a bounty, eliminating them gives you 15% ult charge. Isn't that what it already does? Or how does it work right now? I haven't played Freya in forever. I only played her in Stadium a long time ago. I think we need to relook at like her burst and her, I think you want to lean more into the take aim and the wind dashing kind of like fantasy of her. Maybe it's like the longer you're in the air, maybe your next specific shot could do like a bit more damage over time, but nothing to cross like annoying thresholds or something. Oh, right now it's 15% for every final blow. So just now it's just an elimination instead. Oh, it's 20% ult charge, 33% ult charge on 3 final blows, 15% for every final blow. But the idea is you're saying final blow. So you can buff her by giving it on just like unelimination. I think that's a reasonable buff if you don't want to like go for the take aim part, but okay. Dragon's Thirst, move to the base kit so he gets lifesteal on each dragon swing. Okay, I don't mind that. Swift back cap, giving him progressing objectives seems a bit corny, but it's kind of funny that he's not like diving in the back and it's just capping stuff. I don't hate this, to be honest with you, both of these. Okay, deflect, distance with distance, increasing damage from distance for enemy. No, thank you for this. You can just randomly one-shot people when they're not supposed to. I think there should be like a decent counterplay where you have like an expected way to deal with it. And then if you can't gauge distance, it can be very random on the distance and you can't tell if that's going to kill you or it's not because of that distance. So no to this and no for this. Why are we getting a damage boost for deflecting? No. Dragon Blade being able to be canceled to send out a large energy projectile equivalent of 1 slash maybe. That's kind of cool. We don't need to refund the cooldown, but like if you're out, like you have like a few seconds left, like every time you cancel it right before the end, you can chuck it out. As long as there's like maybe 1 second left, you have a window where you can cancel, throw a final like projectile slash that does equivalent damage, and that's it. I think that's cool. I think that's fine. We don't need to refund other cooldowns though. Okay, Hanzo, they made him more of like a scrappier gun. They want to get rid of the one shot from 250, so you can only do 170, but you shoot way faster. I did not try him, so I can't comment on this one. This is removal of the one shot, but made him more of like a slow archer. I have no intel on this one. I can't even tell you. On paper, it seems okay. It's like a 40 damage nerf. It still does reasonable damage for spamming. Lunge being able to go vertical, I don't hate that as well. Buffing the Dragon Strike. I mean, Dragon Strike is already kind of weak on its own. It's usually a combo ult or a zoning ult. Honestly, these Hanzo changes aren't even that bad. I think all of these could be implemented in the game. I wouldn't hate it. As long as I don't die to a random one shot now. As long as he doesn't like overtake another hero's archetype and like style too much. He feels like a cast now because of, yeah. See, that's kind of what I worry about as well with how fast you can fire the arrows. But you do have storm arrows and you can wall climb. So there is like a bit of an identity kind of differentiation there, but that's okay. Okay, Junkrat. This one felt a little like he was just firing nukes. It just felt like I was playing Ground Pharah. I didn't like it. It was kind of fun for like 2 minutes and I'm like, this just feels so gimmicky. I'm so squishy at 200 HP. But I think Junkrat mains hate the changes. 200 HP was like the worst part of all this. Honestly, I don't think I think Junkrat's identity of being able to launch kind of like slow arcing stuff that can bounce off walls and stuff like that is kind of cool. So no, bring his HP back, no to the frag launcher. 2 charges Steel Trap could be fine with a longer cooldown, with a longer throw. But this is like too Pigpenny. I kind of like the old idea of Steel Trap, but we can have two traps with like a longer cooldown between them with less time. Maybe make them a bit more visible on the ground or something. But yeah, I don't hate this, to be honest with you. I would not keep Trap at 120 though. 100 HP, 2 charges, 14-second cooldown, can throw it a bit farther. It takes longer to arm, so if you step on it, you're not instantly rooted. If you can, no, that's Pigpen part of it. Let's get rid of that. Okay, let's cut the extra charge. 1 charge, same cooldown. Trap person can be revealed. Traps usually bleed. Less damage stepping on it and then a slower bleed over time, but then you get vision. And I think we're in a good spot. So right now, how much damage do you take stepping on a trap? 100? Take 80, do 20 bleed. It's actually better for the receiving end because you're actually taking less upfront damage. You actually have more time to get healed randomly by a Mizuki aura or something. But the benefit for him is he gets vision for Junkrat or something. Okay, now concussion mine. No, I like old conk mine. No to this. Deep freeze major perk with ice spikes. People near the ice wall are now damaged and slow. I like this. It's a major perk, so it's not always online. It's a late game thing. Bit stronger than hazards. I like this deep freeze major perk because nobody took the other major perk anyways. That's fine. Increasing range, but no slow. I actually don't like that. I think it feels weird to be spraying like an icy mist and not slowing enemies. No to this, and the ice skull felt too strange. Like the low damage and the weird charge. It just threw me off. No to this. Completely no to endothermic and icicle. Let's move on. Concussive blast being like old Orisa fucking Overwatch 1 halt. No. Let's not do that. Moving on. Soul Reaving. Collecting a soul orb extends Wraith form's timer. Could be kind of hard to track based on like if he gets a kill, he can stay in the Wraith a little bit longer. I kind of like the predictability of the Wraith if you waited max duration, but he has obviously the agency to leave early now. Honestly, I don't like this. I think Wraith form doing a little bit of damage is fine. It could be a bit less though. I think 40 is kind of crazy. Maybe like 30 damage per second. Reaper's already in a pretty decent spot, adding dire triggers to his base kit. Death Blossom being able to cancel manually is kind of cool too. And every elimination earned extends the duration. I mean, it's kind of already a bad ult. It can be canceled pretty easily. I don't even think this does anything, to be honest with you. It sounds like it's strong on paper. Maybe there's going to be those random clips where it like, in higher ranks, it won't do much, but this would just piss off the low ranks people where it lasts too long and nobody has an ECC or doesn't know how to get out of it. So this would piss too many people off. It actually wouldn't even change anything in the high end because nobody stands in that Reaper ult any longer than they need to anyways. So how about we just not do this, give you cancel manual, can give you Wraith form damage and call it a day. No to Sierra. What the hell is this? Now if you crit with the tracking shot, you just do double damage? I think this is too insane. No thanks. Sorry, I skipped the perks here. Full flight in the minor perks, so it's like better for the drone. That's cool. Locked in. Which one's locked in? Is that the one where like you have to hit them and then you get attack speed or something, right? It's just more DPS to her in an earlier part of the game in minor perks. Honestly, that sounds like a better perk than Dart redeployment, where if they specifically die, it refunds the cooldown. Although this idea of this perk is actually kind of good. We could probably iterate on this and tune some numbers, but I kind of want to add this one. Although to be fair, lock in, you get attack speed. If you do that, then you're not allowed to chain the 2 DPS perks, right? Because there's a minor perk that gives you DPS or something, right? Dart redeployment is buns. It's not very good. It has potential if you can keep chaining them. Balance honestly feels like a minor perk power, to be honest with you. Anyways, let's move on. Sojourn. So I actually tried this version of Sojourn. So she's less raily. The railgun does like way less damage, like the rail specifically, but the SMG is really good. And it makes her more of a brawler because like you're able to slide twice because the dual thrusters with 2 slides is in the base kit. Deceleration field, being able to heal allies. Like I would just put it on the ground against divers like a Genji and I would sit in it like a heal pad kind of like soldier and then fight a thing. That felt a little kind of weird to me. The fact that it healed me and teammates. It feels like it should heal me, maybe, but like, I don't know about healing teammates with it. That felt a little bit weird because I'm the cyborg Omnic, right? There's acceleration, like electricity stuff around me. It's like charging me. I know right now it heals myself, but I don't want it to heal allies. I think that's overlapping. This is just basically Soldier Biotic Field, but better because it has DPS on it if enemies jump in it. So I think it could like enhance me or something. Maybe not heal me. Maybe it could build up my energy if I sit in my own deceleration field as a perk or something like that. Okay, so but honestly, I think this idea for changing Sojourn is kind of cool though. So what I would do is base health back to 250, fine. 2 thrusters, fine. Deceleration field minor perk. Maybe instead of healing, it can heal me or me only as a Sojourn, or it could like start, if I stand in it, it like builds up my energy. And then the major perk grants a second charge, sure, that's fine too. And then we're cooking with that. So the railgun fires a bit faster. The rail being nerfed like crazy from 120 to 80 is really significant, I will say that, because she doesn't even have a 2x headshot multiplier. She's a 1.5x. So I remember I took actually the one game of Sojourn I took the other minor perk where it made my overclock energy go to 150. And even with 150, I just was not able to kill anybody. 150 rail was basically the old damage, right? If I'm not mistaken, because 150 energy brings the 80 back to 120 only. So it just didn't feel that strong at all. But yeah, power slide being able to knock enemies into the air, a little gimmicky, but I have 2 charges of it. It's kind of cool. This honestly felt a little bit healthier. I liked it, but I don't know what other Sojourn players want to say about that, but I liked it. That's my opinion anyways. Soldier 76, we have Biotic Field following Soldier around and pushing enemies away. I don't know if I would like that. I think you want to weigh the idea of, it's the stinky power. It's the stadium power, right? Where you sprint around. Nah, I kind of like Biotic Field being like, I'm putting a field down and I have to stand here to get value from it. Okay, attack Visor, being able to target all enemies. Nah, I think Visor's good by itself. Don't do that. That feels a little ridiculous. Sombra. This was old Translocator, if I'm not mistaken. I actually like the old Translocator, and I like tying the hack to the DPS button. And this felt really strong. I was owning people with this version of it, to be honest with you. Being able to TP out anytime with the stealth, back to a spot and stuff. It felt really strong, especially with 75% boost speed, perma stealth. This would be like perma banned. I don't know what they can do. I don't know what you should do. This just felt strong in the arcade. I actually have no idea how to fix Sombra for the majority of players. I personally don't mind playing current Sombra in ranked at all. It's not even that annoying, but I know a lot of players already hate playing against her. This just makes her even more annoying, so she would be perma-banned. So I don't think any of this, we just have to like look at her from the ground up, and I'm not someone to pitch in. If you have good ideas on how to make Sombra healthier, you guys can entertain me in the comments, because I'm lost. Remove Invis or Translocator probably to actually fix her. I don't think I would move her to a support. I tried the Mirror Watch version. I honestly don't like that, but that's just me. Some of you guys do. I'll read your suggestions later. I mean, some of you guys who are watching the video can read what the chatters are suggesting, and if you have anything in the comments on your ideas on how to make her good and fun for everybody and healthier for the game, you let me know. Symmetra. Symmetra just feels way too strong in this mode as well. Like, not way too strong, but the shield battery going into the base kit was kind of insane because it also affects allies. So sitting on the teleporter is just healing everybody. Let's not do that. No. Acceleraporter. This idea of it be giving you speed boost on a perk is kind of good. I just don't know if you want to do this into the base kit. So you'd have to find another perk to replace it with. But giving a speed boost out of it on a major perk, that's fine. A sentry turrets now damage enemies while mid-flight. Honestly, it is a little bit of a nothing burger. It doesn't do that much in like most cases of Symmetra because they're usually setting up. But sure, you could add that if you wanted to give her like the weirdest power buff of all time. This Torb turret just shoots rockets instead of small bullets. I don't think I played against the Torb. I saw it when I obviously filmed the video on the main channel to showcase it. This just felt like one of those, like, it's kind of like whatever, you know? Getting hit by like a random chunk of damage versus just getting chipped away. It's gimmicky, but it doesn't really do much. It doesn't make his kit any better. Like you said, yeah, it adds nothing to him. So I would say no to this. Overload increasing the primary fire projectile speed is another buff to it. So you can shoot your Cheetos faster for more consistency. I honestly don't even think Torb is that weak right now. He's in a pretty decent spot. I don't think this is necessary right now to enhance and make him better for everybody else. Let's just not do it. Oh, the rockets made it worse. Oh yeah, because the bullets were instant hit scan. The rockets made it worse because I didn't even know that. I remember putting it in the video, but I didn't play against it today or at all to give you a strong opinion of that. That's a good point that you make then. So let's say no and no. Tracer, collecting a health pack grants all charge. Let's not do that. They made this pulse bomb so weird where it can randomly one shot at 999 and somebody has to shoot it off. I would say no. And then giving your teammate the ability to press recall, let's just say no to all of this Tracer stuff. Okay, Vendetta. Apparently just worse because like all these this damage nerf. Whirlwind dash pulling enemies in did not feel good. No. Passively drains energy while active should be no because like it's cool to just hold the block and wait for damage to come. This is definitely like, I don't know what they were doing with Vendetta here. They were not cooking at all with this. Vendetta being able to hit people from behind. Literally all of these, I don't like any of these. None of these make the hero like better and healthier in any way. Let's say no for all. Okay, Venture. Base HP reduced, but you now get regen extra drill dash charges. Your primary fire damage being increased, that's really strong. And then having extra mobility, but you do lose a lot of range. It's like if you want Venture to be more mobile, but also nerfed at the same time. You gave it 2 charges, but you cut the range in half. So you kind of just like took 1 step forward and then 1 step back at the same time. It just felt strange. And then you're just way nerfed with way less HP, with way less damage too. And you get less HP back. I don't know what they were cooking with this. This is just a raw buff, but like, let's just keep Venture as is. I think Venture is actually like low-key really strong when played correctly in the right circumstances. Okay, next we have Widowmaker. Okay, this one actually we have some ideas here. I don't know why we're making her less snipery and more SMG, so no to this. Grappling hook, no to the extra charges. I want to be able to punish a Widow because she's going to be perched up in a spot non-stop and getting extra. I think like if she gets a headshot, she could lower the cooldown of her grappling hook, like if you really want to go that direction, but I don't even think she needs that. I think we just got to work on our Venom Mine. I really like the idea of having the tripwire. 2 charges on it. Protect yourself as a sniper to keep that fantasy. But I really like the tripwire. I thought that was really cool. It's so visible though. That shit is glowing blue. So maybe if it was a bit more subtle, it could be good. Because like Widow's already like in the right hands, Widow can like dominate a lobby because she's uninteractable with how far away she is, which is why like you either play your own Widow or like you really need to play a small enough map where someone can really like make it and actually challenge her that far away. She can be server admin, but like I don't want a world where Widow is perma meta because she just controls the lobby from every angle. You just can't ever peek. I do think so. Maybe I take it back. So no grappling hook stuff because I want to be able to punish her if she's in a bad spot. But maybe the idea of the tripwire, yeah, showing itself only when you get close to it. Kind of like, isn't it kind of like Cypher in Valorant? You can't see it unless you like get really up close to it. I think for Cypher, it's specifically like you have to be up in its face, but like maybe a bit more forgiving in Overwatch with it's got way more movement, right? So yeah, honestly, outside of 8 to 10 meters, you can't see it. But once you're within a certain radius of it, then it's visible. But right now it's perma visible. It doesn't really do much, but the idea is great here. So this is like what I like in the mode like this. This suggestion is really cool with that iteration. So let's do that. Support. So the tactician sub role I do think is hot ass. It's really good on some and not good on others. I actually think this is not even that bad with the no more excess ult charge. Extra ally for progressing the objective, especially when you're like an Ana and you have to sit on the objective, or you're Lucio and you're stalling. I do think this is kind of cooking with this idea. This makes it a lot better. I like this tactician one way better. Now with medic, no longer provides self-healing. I mean, realistically, medic was too strong, by the way. The self-healing was why KarQ was just so annoying. You can't kill her because she pockets someone. She just starts healing herself like 60 HP every Ofuda cycle. It's just ridiculous. But now provides 2.5% increased healing per allied medic hero to all allies from all sources on your team. So all healing is just overall increase if they're in this medic archetype. If you have 2 medics, you heal a bit more. Right now, I don't think people are in the state of the game where it's like, let's run 2 specific medics or 2 survivors. Like no one's really thinking that. The sub roles are kind of just like a tack on right now, not so much like this is the identity. We must run 2 medics. Oh, we're throwing if you're not running 1 tactician, 1 medic. Realistically, I think we should nerf the old medic, but this one I think we need to iterate a bit more. This doesn't really feel like anything, to be honest with you. This is just like existing. And then we have the survivor one where like you start getting extra health for every minute you're alive, up to 100. Dude, do you know how strong that is, by the way? If you're already snowballing, you're gonna snowball even harder by being way harder to kill and unkillable. This one's too strong. This is no to this. We need to go back to the drawing board on this one. Survivor is a bit better and a healthier sub role because it's tied to a cooldown. The reason why I don't like medic is because you're already healing a lot anyways, and then you just keep like sustaining yourself for free, which is ridiculous. But this one's tied to a cooldown, so there's a cost to it. So I think this is a no to survivor. Keep the old one. Okay, Ana. As much as I love Ana, let's not give her a jetpack, by the way. Biotic bounce, being able to detonate the grenade mid-air is actually really good. It actually gives me more reason to use it, so I can like pop it over like a Rhine shield or something instead of having to splash it. I like this perk. Healing shots can critically heal multiple teammates. I like this. Oh, the jetpack here. No to the jetpack, guys. Guys, I play her. You can't like cover all her weaknesses and get her in a strong spot every time. It's fun, but like let's be real here. This shit's does not add that. No, yes to the healing allies. In practice, this sounds crazy on paper. You have to remember when you heal allies, their ass is facing you. Their back is to you, and that means their head hitbox is tucked away. You're literally seeing like half their head because like their ginormous shoulders are just like in the way, and their ginormous traps like Rhine. You know, it's actually way harder to do this consistently. If you miss a single headshot and then you hit the next one, you might as well hit 2 body shots at that point, which is way easier to do. So this one, even in practice, is rewards good skill, but it's a little risky if your aim's a little shaky. So I actually like this, to be honest with you. In practice, this is not that bad. Nano boost being instant is kind of nice. I do think you should be punished for a bad nano if you die for it. Like, I'm of the believer, I don't think you need to be babied in the sense that like you always guarantee your ultimate out. There is a window where you do die and lose it, and like that's your fault. It can be nice QOL, but like, listen, I play a shit ton of Ana. I don't know, this just makes her like too easy then if it's guaranteed nano every time. Even if I'm like 1 HP and as long as I press the button, like they're guaranteed to get it. I think there is like a skill to like weighing whether I should last minute nano or am I gonna literally die in the next half second before it comes out. I actually say no to this, believe it or not. Okay, Baptiste, this one was so funky. I actually didn't hate it. Like I can't say I loved it, but I was much more apprehensive reading it at first. But now the fact that immortality is tied to your ultimate, or it actually has some like pretty good chunks. Like it activates at a much higher threshold, and it does like keep you at a much healthier HP. You are literally immortal with this. I actually liked this. The amp matrix was really cute. It's really tiny and a little clunky with the way the visual is matching where you want to put it right now. That can be fixed, but I could see a world where this is actually a thing, believe it or not. Maybe we iterate a bit more, but I like this a lot. These two. Exo boots auto aiming for you when you jump in the air. No, it's the same thing as like nano boost, no cast time, and like this is just babying too much. Why do we also need an auto homing heal? We have Life Weaver for that. Let's not do that. Next, Brig. Being able to propel yourself with it, kind of cool, to be honest with you. And it comes at the expense of like not being able to use it offensively to generate any inspire passive to forcibly use your mobility. I like this, but I don't think we need Shield Bash to be able to go into the air then. I don't think you double dip, but you can add a little bit onto the whip shot here. Keep this. No to this. Rally going, like when I saw this, you turn into Doomfist animation, right? Then you land on them and you still get rally. That's too gimmicky. Let's not do that. But whip shot, kind of good. I think we can keep that. Illari was kind of strange, seeing her outburst a gazillion times, spins 2 more times, creating additional explosion. This just looks so strange in the air. I just saw the Illari just like literally being a ballerina in the sky. I was like, what the hell am I looking at? Nah, let's not do that. No, the outburst itself providing some healing if you do it within range. Honestly, I don't hate it. I think that's fine. Because now you lose your mobility, especially if you like do it at a bad time and then somebody jumps you and then you lost your mobility. Especially if you also take that major perk where it does damage. This is fine. Captive Sun, you get hindered when you look at her? No, it's already hard enough to kill her in the sky, like with that ultimate. The ultimate has such high potential. This is just like making it too strong where like, I look up, I get the fantasy. It's like, oh, I don't want to like, you know, blast my eyes because, you know, she's literally the sun, but come on, we don't need to hinder ourselves looking at her. So no to this. Jetpack Cat. Torb and Sim Turret being on Cat is kind of funny. He literally said my eyes. Yeah, I mean, this one was a meme change, so that's why no. Being able to attach stuff onto Cat, kind of funky, to be honest with you. Can a new player, you would assume with your teammates, like all your stuff like phases through it. This is more of a fun change, but like, if I'm not mistaken, I think they got rid of it where you used to be able to put the Torb turret and the Symmetra turrets on the Mei ice block and like move it around and stuff like that, but they got rid of stuff like that. Just for consistency's sake, I would honestly say no to this. A bit too memey, a bit too funky. Okay, let's move on with this. We have transport shielding replaced with zoomies. Dude, the speed that you go on is actually Mach 10, but you're so squishy. This one's more of a fun change, but like no to this. This is the best realistic change here. Lifeline having a max duration from infinite to 10 seconds. Why is this not in the game? This is good. Yes, I like Catnapper as an ultimate, so we don't need to change it to a grenade launcher, but this is pretty fun. But no, let's keep Catnapper the way it is. Honestly, Catnapper was so annoying on release in February, but I don't even think it's that good anymore. It reminds me exactly like Jeff's ultimate in Marvel Rivals. The first month, it was just highlight reel of Jeff just spitting people off the map and like actually getting people, and then it just becomes more of a meme over time. Catnapper is a bit of a meme because now you know when you get pulled and like you're literally tethered and you're knocked down, you can literally shoot the cat because like you're kind of like they're right in front of you and you can counter it in a lot of ways, and not every map has a drop-off spot. So like honestly, Catnapper doesn't even feel like that crazy of an ultimate right now. But anyways, so no to the Catnapper changes here. Keep Catnapper the way it is. Juno, replaced with Wormhole. Deployment of the ring distance upon passing it. Allies gain 25% speed boost. I think this is fine with extra ring distance deployment, and like enemies are now slowed if they touch it. It's probably the only thing. Oh, actually, you know what? There's a cost. You have less movement speed. Sorry, I thought this had more movement speed. I think this is a good minor perk replacement. Let's keep that one. Orbital Ray now dealing damage. I don't know. That sounds a little. I played against this. It was kind of ridiculous in the middle of a team fight. It's literally a whole ass zoning area that you can't walk into while it already damage boosts your teammate and heals them. I think the idea of it traveling towards Juno's location is actually kind of good though. This could be something to be implemented. It can default go in a straight line, and then maybe if you press your Q button or your ultimate button again, it'll like start redirecting to your current location. So it could default go straight, and you press a button, and then it'll start traveling towards you. And then you can unclick it. Or maybe it's a one-time click, but the default is forward for more agency on that. That could be kind of cool. Let's add that. Okay, Kiriko. Let's just scrap the entire Kiriko idea of it reversing. This shit fucked with my muscle memory and it was too strange. Let's not do any of that, by the way. And it sounded interesting on paper when I read it, and then on practice, that shit was so weird. Let's just not do any of that. I'm just moving on. Weaver, Super Bloom in the major as a major perk into the base kit was actually kind of good. It actually made Weaver feel really nice. The whole thing, the damage popping. You probably just have to nerf the explosion of the needler stuff, but it is really cool conceptually. I did like this, and I actually like this major perk idea if this is in the base kit as well, where people stuck with the super bloom explosions now receive 20%. It's not even that much, 20% less for just a second, and you stack it with the 30% global debuff and they're receiving 50% less healing. That honestly is a fine combo, And then you just nerf the super bloom like explosion damage overall in the base kit to compensate. Reload speed, that's a little too strong, too fast, especially if you have way more power in the base kit. I think you keep the reload speed the same. I really like the pedal platform, an ally being able to control whether to go up or down. I like that. You want to keep that. And then Tree of Life was too good. This is ridiculous. The pulse decreasing your team's cooldowns and increasing the enemies. That's like Kitsune Rush 2.0. Let's just scrap that part. Tree of Life is already a great ultimate. It has like the real object in the game. It has good implications on blocking certain enemy ultimates. It already heals a lot, gives you over health. Too strong for Tree of Life here, but I like Petal. No to Thorn Volley, but I like Super Blue and base kit. Okay, Lucio. You can actually speed boost the objective. That's so gimmicky because he's a tactician too, right? And remember, if we kept the tactician idea where the objectives go, you count as 2 people, Lucio could just sit on the cart, amp speed, and he's worth 2 people on it. Bro, this is too funky. Let's not do that. Some people actually thought this was already a real thing, by the way. I remember when Overwatch 2 came out, people were spreading misinformation that you could speed boost the objective. And I was like, what are you guys talking about? And they're like, no, KarQ, it's real. And I wasn't sure if they were doing it for a bit, but people were dead ass. They would be fighting people in the comments. And I'm like, okay, this is going on too long to be a bit right now. Soundwave Rider Minor perk replaced with base buildup. Holding secondary fire gradually charges up the Soundwave. The empowered one does more, but the cooldown is increased. So the downside of holding it is you can't fire your primaries anymore. So if you're stuck holding it, you lose your primary 4 shots. 4 green Oreos don't come out. So this actually just feels like a nerf. Not good in practice. Unless you could hold the charge, and if you could charge it and then hold it or something. It's a fair trade-off. I think it's just straight up less DPS. 50% more damage on a boop versus like actually shooting a bunch of green Oreos at first into the boop is more damage the other way around. And it puts a delay on the base boop, yeah. Fronger said these changes are not very fun. I haven't played it, but on paper, that's my impression as well. As long as you don't lose the base boop, I guess, if you opt not to charge it, you can play it like normal, and then there's a time and place for it. Maybe it's like if you charge it, yeah, you get more knockback, but then your overall Soundwave cooldown is always 1 second longer now. Maybe there is a world where you can have a stronger boop, but I don't want to be on the receiving end of that, so for that reason, I say no. Why is Sound Barrier not giving Lucio overhealth? What are we doing here? No to this. Ultimate charge not consumed until Sound Barrier, so no Ajaxing. Like I said, I don't think we need to dumb down the game where like you're not punished for a bad ultimate, like with Ana being insta-cast with the nano and not losing it, and like you're not losing any ult charge on Lucio until successful cast. That's just noobing the game down too much. I think it's a good enough punishment to have a bad beat and die for it. And then it's like, yes, it sucks, but like that should be a learning experience. Like you can't baby the game that much. And then no knocking back enemies on range. Now we don't need that. I don't know. Sound barrier is just overall nerfed with this, minus this part. I think the only realistic sound barrier change I would do is like the Goomba Stomp, where if you actually beat on top of someone's head, maybe you do like 20 damage or something, or 50 damage, or beat lasts a little bit longer if you go from higher to lower. Like if you spend more time for a break it down, it can't be something ridiculous. Maybe it's like a certain height. If you're above like 10 meters of travel distance for the beat, you get like an extra 100 overhealth. But like, you know how fast that shit decays. You already get so much overhealth and it decays really fast. It's one of those like bigger windows to punish the Ajax if they do a long beat, but slightly more overhealth. This could be something to be looked at, but that's about it. Okay, Mercy, let's never do this, by the way. Remote resurrection through the walls 10 meters away is so stupid. I was like sitting on a body earlier today after killing them, and then they just got res. I'm like, what the hell? Where the hell did this res come from? Like, it's unpunishable. That's too strong. Let's not do that. That being said, Guardian Angel being able to target allies in addition to enemies is a crazy buff to her mobility, by the way. Could be a major perk. I don't think it needs to do damage over time, but as a major perk option, now you're suddenly able to target enemies. That's crazy skill expression, by the way. Maybe it was a major perk. No mass res, by the way. No. Resonant Return with Rule of 3. Not gonna lie, at first glance, this just feels like Rules of 3. This feels like the old Resonant Return perk with extra steps. The one with the extra hat and stuff already gave additional 10 healing and anything. So this just seems like complicated for no reason. Yes to the Remedy Aura range. This is a nice quality of life change. Yes to this. I actually didn't like charging up the Spirit Glaive at all. It felt strange. I don't think he needs it, so no to this. Mizuki being able to attach to walls, being able to jump. He had crazy mobility with this. I think that's a little too much mobility creep for him. He's already really good, so no. Katashir Return, where the paper doll actually heals some allies, is kind of an idea to go through. But it has to be a small, flat healing. I don't think it can scale. Your doll can't scale with how much aura you're already sitting on. I think the enemy should be able to see the doll. That's good counterplay just to camp the spot, but in the same vein, enemies who stand near it can now benefit from some healing. I think that's fine. Moira, healing range increased by 100%. What are we doing here? No. Yes to Biotic Orb. Trajectory now controlled with the facing direction until the first bounce. I think this agency is really good. Good. No, yes, and then Coalescence, canceling it early. This is a stadium power, by the way, for Zenyatta. I know that, where you cancel your Transcendence early to get the value. That's really strong. I don't like the idea of the ultimate charge, like retaining it. All the stuff with the ultimate charge stuff, I'm not a fan of in the game. I think if you commit to your ultimate, you should consume all of it, always. Next, Wu Yang. Okay, I have a hot take here. I actually like this idea with the powerful current with the wave, where it's wider and it carries them into the air a little bit more. Like they're kind of like washed away a little bit, like taking like actually getting caught in a wave a bit more. I like that a lot. So yes, for the Xuan Wu staff, orbs are now visible. And the reason why is because every player in High Elo always takes triple orbs. So if you want to benefit like another major perk that can compete with it, a wave that actually has like way more CC and actually knocks them, carries them away to help, like instead of being offensive with the triple orbs, you actually like can save yourself against Winston and Doom and Tracer by actually washing them away a little bit further. You know what I mean? So I like that. Xuan Wu staff being able to be visible with Wu through the walls. As much as this would help, I don't think we need this. I think part of the skill expression is being able to kind of like guess through the walls and like master the arc if you want to really curve it correctly. I think the fact that you can see it through walls now kind of noobs it down, where you're just kind of just staring at it, and just guiding it through walls versus being active and like you're just gonna like tunnel into it for the newer players, and I just don't think that's a good direction it needs to be in for this specifically. Extinguishing burning status. I mean, we keep adding a lot more burns in the game. Intuitively, yes. But I think once you start going down this rabbit hole, you got to start thinking more elements. There's fire, water, okay, but we also have ice. Like, what's next? Like molten core or like Onron can like burn May's ice wall, or like can defroster and cryo freeze. Like, I think it's a slippery slope to go through things like this. Like with bleeds, like what's another way to clean a bleed? Like, I don't know. Yeah, we have electricity with like Sojourn and Winston now. Now suddenly they do more damage to me as Wu Yang because I'm water based, you know? If I use my wave and like Sojourn uses Disruptor Shot on my wave as a cast, now it's suddenly like, I don't know, it just does damage, amplified damage or something. I don't know, this is a slippery slope. I think it's cool, but I think if you're gonna do this, you can start like exploring the idea of like everybody having a little bit of an element is how I would approach that, or just never go down that rabbit hole. Anyways, and now we're on the final part of this discussion here. I don't like this Zenyatta idea where like the orbs were just healing my teammates like Luna Snow. It just felt so weird. It just made him feel clunky. Didn't like it at all. And then the Orb of Harmony, I'm like orbiting a teammate and then they're just not getting healed. It just felt too weird for me. So like, no. Playing against Discord Orb is really annoying for a lot of tanks and players. The idea of it being attached to a shot where you have to land it on an enemy for it to be applied is a world you could explore, but not a 12-second cooldown. Could be a 3-second cooldown or something to be able to reapply it. I think that's not bad to not be able to perma Discord somebody. That could be something to be done here. So there's an idea here that could be iterated on, and that's my last part. And that's it for the creator community crafted mode for what can be and what can't be added to the game. My opinion only. You guys can have your opinions. You don't have to agree with me, and that's totally fine. This is an open discussion, so I think I was lost on the somber stuff, so leave yours. Who was cooking, who wasn't cooking, and all that fun stuff. And that's cool. Thanks for watching.